What's up guys, hope you're doing well. I just wanted to go over my predictions for UFC 313, all the way from the early prelims up until the main event. Getting straight into it, for the first fight of the night, we've got Mayron Santos versus Francis Marshall. So Mayron is on a 5-fight win streak, last losing in 2022. Francis Marshall on the other hand, has lost 2 out of his last 3 fights, with his last win coming by split decision to Dennis Bazooka. To me, this is a really easy pick. I'm going to go with Marion Santos by decision. For the second fight of the night, we've got the crafty veteran Alex Morono going up against Carlos Leal. Both fighters coming off a loss. Leal lost back in October to Rinat Fakhretdinov. Morono has lost 2 out of his last 3 fights, last winning in April 2024. This is a really close fight and hard to pick, but I'm going to go with the crafty veteran Alex Morono on this one. He's shown time and time again that he's battle tested and can pull out those decision victories. Bruno Ferreira versus Arman Petrosyan is quite an interesting fight. Bruno has just come off a loss to Abbas Magomedov at UFC 308, and so has Arman to Shara Bullet. Arman was actually doing quite well until that double spinning back fist in round 2, which was just, who the fuck could have predicted that? Although it's hard to pick, I'm gonna go with Bruno Ferreira. Joshua Van versus Ray Tayyura is a fight I'm really looking forward to. Joshua Van has looked fantastic recently, with some absolutely crisp boxing. It reminds me a lot of Petr Yan on the feet. Ray Tayyura is 10-0, with his last win coming to Carlos Hernandez by unanimous decision. Both fighters are really young and are spicing up the flyweight division, and I think this will be a super fun fight to watch. Although the underdog, if he's on point with his takedown defense, and if he can effectively implement his boxing, I think this is Joshua Van's fight to win. Curtis Blaydes versus Rizvan Kuniev. I'd be lying if I said I knew anything about Rizvan Kuniev, but his record looks quite impressive, being 12-2-1. Although I don't know a lot about Kuniev, I'm excited to see what he can bring to the UFC heavyweight division, as it is so stale at the moment. Heavyweights tend to either do really good or really bad on their debut, and since it's risky, I'm just going to stick with good old Curtis Blaydes by first round KO. Bobby King Green versus Mauricio Huffy. To be honest, I have no clue why this fight's happening. It's like the UFC hate Bobby. To me, this is the easiest pick of the night, and I'm going to go with the rising star Mauricio Huffy. Mauricio Huffy reminds me a lot of early Conor McGregor. I think he has an extremely bright future in the sport, and to me, this seems like a classic out with the old, in with the new UFC fight. Therefore, I'm going to go with Mauricio Huffy by round 1 KO. Amanda Lemos versus Yasmin Lucindo. Both these women have been doing quite well in their division recently. Yasmin is on a 4-fight win streak, with 3 decisions and 1 sub. Amanda, on the other hand, has lost 2 out of her 3 last bouts. So for me, this is an easy pick. I'm going to go with the young and hungry Yasmin Lucindo. Jalen Turner versus Ignacio Bahamondes is also a really interesting fight. Jalen is number 13 ranked in the lightweight division, but has just lost his last fight. Ignacio, on the other hand, has won 4 out of his last 5 fights, with his last win coming at the Sphere at UFC 306. To me, this is an easy pick. I just think Ignacio's better everywhere. Ignacio is just going to pick Jalen apart on the feet, so I'm going to go with Ignacio Bahamondes by decision. Justin Gaethje versus Rafael Vaziev. Now this should have been Justin Gaethje versus Dan Hooker, which could have been one of the biggest fights of the year. I think every single UFC fan loves Justin Gaethje to a certain degree just for the amazing fights he brings, so no matter what, this is going to be fun to watch. Rafael Vaziev is also a really technical striker, so we can basically guarantee this fight will be a stand-up match. Although it's not Justin versus Dan, I still think this will be a great fight. And also, they have already fought before, with Gaethje coming out as the winner. Due to its short notice and the fact Justin thrives in these kind of fights, I'm going to give it to Justin Gaethje by round 3 KO. For the light heavyweight championship and the main event of UFC 313, Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Ankalaev has been begging for another title shot for so long, and the UFC have finally given it to him. Alex Pereira has been on an absolute tear in the light heavyweight division, defending his title 4 times, soon to potentially be 5. Magomed Ankalaev's last loss, on the other hand, was in 2018. Let that sink in. 2018. He's essentially on an 11-fight win streak if you don't count the draw he had to Jan Blachowicz. For me, this literally comes down to if Magomed wants to grapple and how Alex is going to approach the grappling. If Magomed just tries to strike with Alex, he'll be knocked out within 3 rounds. If Ankalaev does try and grapple, it'll come down to how Alex approaches it. Will Alex fight on the outside, hang around next to the cage and try and use it to stand up and not get taken down? Or will he try and force a KO whilst Ank is coming in and shooting for takedowns? Although Ankalaev does bring Alex a new challenge with his potential grappling, I still think Alex is going to wipe the floor with Magomed. I'm going to go with Alex Pereira by round 3 knockout. I think he's just going to outstrike Ankalaev, make him desperate, and hit him whilst he's coming in. So yeah, I just wanted to whiz through these predictions quickly to give you my opinion on what's going to happen at UFC 313. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you're new. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time, and peace.